The U has produced some awesome wide receivers over their long and illustrious history. Michael Irvin, Reggie Wayne, Santana Moss, Andre Johnson, the list goes on and on. But there has never been a more productive receiver in the history of the Miami Hurricanes than Xavier Restrepo. It is pretty remarkable what Restrepo has been able to accomplish with lackluster quarterback play for most of his career. But Restrepo has the all-time receiving yards record and the all-time reception record for the U. In a wide receiver class with some good talent up and down the board, where does Restrepo rank in this class? That is what we will be discussing in today's video. But hey guys, if you guys are new to the channel, consider hitting that like and subscribe button. Also, be sure to check out my Patreon page where for $5 a month, you guys will get exclusive access to my in-depth draft guide and big board with over 450 different prospects and scouting reports with all their measurables, combine information, and data you guys need to be successful this draft season. Leave a comment and let me know which prospect you guys would like to see in a future video. And without further ado, let's take a closer look at Xavier Restrepo. Restrepo has been uber productive for the Hurricanes since he showed up in 2020. In 2023, with some pretty awful quarterback play by the way, Restrepo finished the year with 85 receptions for 1,102 yards and 6 touchdowns. Miami went out and got Cam Ward, and Restrepo came back to school where he was awesome in 2024, finishing with 69 receptions for 1,127 yards and 11 touchdowns. I think he's a great player that isn't getting a lot of the recognition he deserves and could be a big-time riser with a good week down in Mobile. The first thing that stands out about Restrepo is I think he is a remarkable route runner. His ability to stop and go on a dime, separate across the middle of the field, and combine different route packages together is incredible. His footwork is some of the best of any receiver in the draft class, and I think he's one of the best route runners and separators of any receiver in this draft. Restrepo has really good hands for the position as well. He has made some unbelievable catches throughout his college tenure, and he secures just about everything thrown his way. He has 9 drops in 5 seasons for the Hurricanes and is a player who just makes incredible acrobatic catches and big-time plays left and right. He is a secure weapon that you know if you throw him the ball, he is going to make a play. We mentioned the footwork earlier, but Restrepo's body control is truly remarkable. In short areas, his burst and quickness is awesome, but he has shown elite body control along the sidelines, as well as shown a willingness to block, which I love to see from my receivers. He also has good physicality for the position and is not afraid of contact. He had a 61.5% contested catch rate in 2024. He's a very smart football player who understands his strengths and makes plays wherever the offense needs him to. And if he makes plays along the sidelines, across the middle of the field, it always seems to be a positive play. There are 2 major concerns with Restrepo. For one, he isn't the biggest receiver in the world. He was listed at around 5'10", 198 pounds, but he looks shorter than his listed size, and he also doesn't have the ideal length for the receiver position either. He's just probably not going to be a number 1 guy at the next level and is probably going to be limited to playing primarily in the slot in the NFL. I also worry about his athleticism. While he is explosive out of his routes, he isn't very fast and doesn't have very awesome long speed, and I think you can tell by the play calling. Miami hardly ever ran routes of over 20 yards that were going to be targeted towards Restrepo. He is best used in the short to intermediate game, and I think his speed and ability to challenge defenders down the field could be a major issue for him at the next level. Despite not being the biggest or the fastest receiver, Restrepo is still one of my favorite players in this draft class. He knows how to get open, and that is an invaluable trait at the NFL level. He is a nuanced route runner and one of my favorite wide receivers in this class, and has been a favorite of mine since I studied him over the summer. He's going to be a productive pro. You can just tell by the way he carries himself. This is a guy that is going to be productive in the NFL. And I have Restrepo as my number 10 wide receiver in the draft class and my number 66 overall player. We mentioned it earlier in the video, but Restrepo is just going to be a slot receiver in the NFL. He doesn't have the size, nor does he have the speed, but an offense that plays him in the slot, I think could be really helpful. You can get him in motion. You can find ways to utilize his ability to get open and to make plays in space, and I really like that. Like I said, he's not going to be a guy that's going to take the top off the defense, but in the 10 to 15 yard range, he could be a killer for an NFL team, and I think that's where he is going to profile best at the next level. My player comparison for Xavier Restrepo is Tampa Bay Buccaneers wide receiver Sterling Shepard. I've got to give a big shout out to my guy Trevor Sikkema over at PFF for this comp, but I absolutely love it. Shepard is not this big play machine with great size nor great athleticism, but he plays the position the right way. He's got really good footwork, is a nuanced route runner, is good in space after the catch, and can separate at a high level. And Restrepo brings a lot of those same principles to the receiver position, and both of them play bigger than their listed size, which is always something that I value in smaller receivers. Xavier Restrepo is remarkable. He knows how to get open, he is quick to the football, and has some of the most sure hands in the entire draft class. People are going to overthink it because he doesn't necessarily have elite traits, but this is a really good football player, and ultimately, I believe that Xavier Restrepo will be a third-round pick in the 2025 NFL Draft.